I really don't see this ending well for Lyft, and I'll tell you later. A 78-year-old Lyft driver killed by a 19-year-old in Dallas, Texas.
A man is charged with capital murder for shooting and killing a 78-year-old Lyft driver during a robbery. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. The victim was found shot to death in the parking lot of a budget hotel in northeast Dallas. His vehicle and wallet were missing. Hours later, the suspect was arrested on a separate charge. And police say he admitted to murder. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live in Dallas with the story. Peyton.
Stephen, hours after the murder, the 19-year-old was arrested for unlawful possession of a weapon. And when police searched him, they found the victim's wallet. And that's really what connected all of the dots here. Now, I spoke with the victim's daughter today briefly. She tells me she lost an amazing father. Dallas police say 78-year-old Mohammed Taghi Haddad Farshi was driving for the rideshare company Lyft when he was shot and killed during a robbery early Saturday morning. His last passenger, 19-year-old Maurice Parker, is now accused of murdering Haddad Farshi and taking his wallet, phone, and vehicle rented to him as a Lyft driver. Just before 4 a.m. Saturday, Haddad Farshi was found fatally shot in the parking lot of a Budget Suites in northeast Dallas. Investigators processed the scene, pulling surveillance video from the front office. Just hours later, officers were called back out to the Budget Suites Saturday night. A woman told 911 a young man came outside his second-floor room and fired a handgun at the ground in the courtyard with children nearby. Police confirmed the room was being rented by Maurice Parker. Officers arrested him and located drugs and a handgun. They also found Haddad Farshi's wallet. Detectives say Parker eventually admitted to the murder and stealing the car, later ditching it in a nearby parking lot. And the 19-year-old had warrants for drug possession out of Frisco. Now he faces a capital murder charge. He is here tonight at the Dallas County Jail. His bond is set for $5 million.
$5 million bond, right? Lock him up for good. Here's the bigger problem. David Risher, are you addressing this right now? David Risher can make one quick executive decision, which he does not want to make, by the way. Dara Khosrowshahi is also unwilling to make the same decision. And that is, we've reminded them for years and years and years that these thugs, like this 19-year-old killer, are on the platform, right? There's a registered database, right, of these felons. He has a long list already. Before he killed this guy, he already has a long list. And the companies can access those databases. But no, David Risher's not interested, right? He'll accept those monies. They'll accept the monies from killers, pedophiles, carjackers. That's a fact. They're on our platforms. They're in the back of our cars. Can Uber and Lyft prevent this? Yes, if they were to check, to do a check, not even a background check, but just a check against these databases, these individuals, the name, what they're up for, right? It's a program that they can write and then double check it against Uber and Lyft's database and then kick them off the platform. No, but they'd rather take their money. Now, in another video that I'm going to make, you know, you got to look at this, and by the way, to the family of this gentleman, the 78-year-old, I know his daughter is just said he's the most wonderful guy. If you can get a GoFundMe going, if we can help you, if we can assist your family and pay for the funeral costs or whatever, please do. Please hit this channel up and send us the details, and our hearts and prayers are with you, with your family. I don't know if he has a wife, but he definitely has kids. We pray for this family. Now, what I want to send, I want to send a message to CEO Risher of Lyft and CEO Khosrowshahi of Uber. You have the power to prevent this. You have the power to spend money, right? This 911 in-app bullshit doesn't cut it. It's too late, right? Drivers have to go out and arm themselves. Drivers have to get dash cams. Drivers have to get pepper spray. I mean, we basically have to take safety into our own hands. this man was probably not very well equipped. Didn't even have a dash cam in his car. He should have had a dash cam. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this is a pressure cooker. And I'm afraid that this pressure cooker is going to explode one of these days. There's only so much abuse drivers, rideshare drivers, and food delivery drivers can take. Only so much. There's only so much abuse families of these victims can take. Someone is going to go nuts. Like some family is going to blame the death of their son or their father or their mother on the company. And it's coming. It's in the pipeline. I'm telling you right now, this is what these companies should worry about, right? It hasn't happened, and thank God it hasn't happened in 12, 14 years. But someone is going to take this the wrong way. Someone is not going to deal with the death of their son or their daughter or their husband or their wife because Lyft didn't do anything about it. And I want Risha and Koshashawi to think about this. Now, I know that Dara Koshashawi has a huge security entourage. He pays over $2 million to keep himself and his family protected. But I was down there at the Uber HQ. I was down there at the Lyft HQ. It seemed pretty simple to get in, right? And someone's going to lose their marbles, right? And maybe some driver's going to lose their marbles. Risha and Koshashawi, you are to blame for this pressure cooker. It's building more and more pressure. You need to depressurize it by doing a couple of things. Help those families. Jump in, assist those families, talk to those families. Don't push them aside, right? Don't not communicate with them. By not communicating with them, the problem doesn't go away. The pressure cooker builds, right? By throwing drivers under the bus, by deactivating them wrongfully, by keeping their monies because you're doing a money grab, right? It's going to take one driver or one family member of a deceased one who's going to turn on Uber and Lyft. Mark my words. I mean, it hasn't happened in 10 or 12 years, but it is going to happen. And they can prevent this. They know they can prevent this. And it just boils down to pure psychology. Like I always say before these protests, we are going in, we are protesting peacefully. Ladies and gentlemen, I was at the last protest. There were one or two guys. In fact, there was one guy who had a cease and desist against him from Lyft. There's a really, really angry driver that protests solo on his own many times, but he was there. I would have preferred, to be quite honest, that he wasn't there, right? And even if he listens to this, I have my reasons. You don't rep the way his anger is channeled, the choice of his words is just raging anger inside of him because of what Lyft did to him, right? It's these type of people that these executives, Llewellyn, Zverchek, or Risha need to worry about. Me personally, I will not do another protest if that guy is around, right? And I'll say it straight to his face. I'm not afraid of this guy at all, right? He was trying to he got a restraining order from Lyft to stay 10 feet away from the building. He kept that restraining order, but he made some pretty harsh remarks. He tried to explain to me that his words were taken out of context. He was honest enough to tell me what he said, right? He said, I wish they would die. I mean, it's just stupid shit like that. You don't say that. You don't say that, man. You're going to have a restraining order slapped on you like this guy did. And I urge the people that were protesting peacefully, right? We do not need these type of protesters. We want peaceful protesters. We want people that just hammer the companies on their causes. Month after month, we're going to show up there. I'm going to go to Sacramento. I'm going to go to Washington, D.C. I'm going to spend a lot of time protesting and traveling because I believe in the numbers we can do this. I mean, the one thing I know how to do, I got there early. I was connecting with all the media. I did three or four media interviews before the protest even started, right? And then we got even more coverage by smaller, like Mission Local, smaller little papers, boots on the ground, at the Uber HQ and the Lyft HQ, but it's these angry people like this individual that was there, right, shouting Nazis. And I mean, this guy was just raging. People like this can lose it like that. They can flip like that, right? It takes one little hair to trigger them, and they'll do something dumb. We don't have to do anything dumb. Let's stay peaceful. Let's protest peacefully. And I urge that person I spoke to, you know exactly where we spoke. We spoke on the lot of Potrero. You told me one story, but when I saw you act, when I saw your anger, your raging fucking anger on the day, right? I actually wanted to give you a good slap, right? Because you were not doing the drivers any good with your raging anger. And you came across to me as this, like, you try to sell yourself as this pretty peaceful guy. Well, there's a reason you got a restraining order, right? And this guy is not going to follow through. He's not going to do stupid shit. Like he's big talk, he's anger, but he doesn't have that element of that pressure cooker boiling over. But there are other people out there. And I want to remind Risha and Llewellyn and Zverchek and Koshashawi and West. There's a nutcase out there. You've harmed so many families. You've hurt so many families by not taking any action. It's going to take one guy who is triggered, who's going to go down there to the HQ. Mark my words, it's going to come. I mean, we've had this in every single business, right? Where people go postal. There's ways and means. I mean, I have my degree in psychology. There's ways and means that you can diffuse an individual, right? That you can calm them down. There's things that these companies can do. Communicate better. They communicate poorly. They have bullshit spokesmen who just playing the same soundbite that makes people more and more angry. They are not doing anything for this man's family, right? They're not stepping in. How can we help? What can we pay? What can we do for you, right? Can we give you counselors? You know, we'll do everything it takes. Executives over there, you need to diffuse matters. What they're wrongly doing is they pretend that this noise, this issue is not there, and they walk that way, silently walk that way. They walk away, not addressing the issue. The companies need to learn how to address this family, right? It's going to, again, mark my words, it's going to take one person, a man or a woman, who has had enough, has just had enough. And we've seen this in every country. We've seen this in a lot of businesses. One guy gets pissed off, one guy gets postal, whether it's overpay, whether they felt disrespected, whatever it is. Uber and Lyft have been very, very lucky this far. I just food for thought to all of those executives and investors. Think about what I said. Think about how you can help this family. Think about how you can help drivers. Think about how you don't have to issue restraining orders, like, for example, against this guy that was at the protest, right? Because you just don't know what's inside that individual. What are they capable of, right? Ladies and gentlemen, we need to learn how to talk to each other. I started talking to a lot of riders. I was engaging the riders on the street. They're not our enemy, they're our friend. They need to realize they're being screwed over and we being screwed over. What is the joint solution against the companies, right? What is the solution for all of these killings? It starts with database checks. It starts off, Mr. Risha, by keeping these thugs that should not be in our cars or should not be able to obtain access to the app over third parties, mother, brothers, uncles. You need to know, we have the right to know as independent contractors who is in our cars. And it's your job at these HQs to start diffusing matters, because the time will come and that pressure cooker, unfortunately, will just, boom, go off. Mark my words, it's coming.